Howdy guys, welcome to part 5 of Princess Evangile. We are continuing on through school here, learning about some new people. So that is what happened. Yes, it's all over the school, Oni-sama. I've already let the teachers know, and they'll dole out punishments tomorrow. I see. Really, the entire matter is without precedent. A slap in the face, yes. We've had fights in our way, of course, but I am certain that Messiah did something to deserve it, though. Yes, I'm certain he did. I wonder what he might have done. I hope it was nothing untoward. I've heard that men are uncontrollable sexual beings. People wouldn't say that sort of thing if it wasn't the truth, would they? Well, I hardly know, of course. In any event, it is true that we found nothing inappropriate in his residence. But I suppose he was just putting up a good front. Yes, he's a crafty one, I'm certain of it. I agree. That is just the trouble. We need to purge him from our Vincennes by any means necessary. Is that what you're saying? Yes. So, we've got some enemies here. Pretty much everyone but Rise is against us, against integration. They don't want us to integrate into the school because they hate men. I better move this cursor out of the way. The paper came out quick the next day. What's more, even before the paper came out, it seemed like everyone knew what had happened yesterday. It was a boarding school, and they were all familiar. Once it was out there, the information spread like wirefile. The second I left my room, I felt like I had been on a bed of needles. That feeling didn't change when I arrived at the classroom. To the contrary, the gazes fixed on me just seemed harsher and colder. I wanted to ask someone what the Tentator serpent the article had mentioned could have meant, but no one would meet my eyes. Tentator? Salutations. Good morning. Oh dear, you still have a mark. Because we got slapped yesterday. Yeah, I was shocked when I saw it this morning. It was a bright red in the mirror. I'm the one who was shocked. Rise put a hand to her forehead and looked up at the ceiling. Everyone in the school's talking about you. You know that, don't you? Yeah. You were conspicuous to begin with, and now this. Some people theorize that this is the first act of violence in Vincennes history. It's so natural that it should be everywhere. That's true, but was that really violence? Well, she hit you so hard, the sound it created was incredible. Well, in addition, she looked at me from the corners of her eyes. I would like it if you would explain to me privately just what happened between the two of you. After what had happened yesterday, I ran out of the room after she healed. But I lost her by the time I reached the hallway. I checked back in the dorm, but whether she was there or not, she didn't respond to my knocks. I knew I couldn't hang around the halls forever, so I eventually withdrew to my room and let go for the day. Sure. After all, she called you a traitor. That's a very strong word. Naturally, I don't believe that you're Tentator serpent myself. But even so, this is a very serious matter. I can't assess the situation until you give me the full explanation. What is it? What does Tentator serpent mean? Seductive serpent. In other words, the whole incident is being interpreted in that light, Mr. Casanova. She poked at my chest as she spoke, and then finally took her seat. Good morning. Sister Mishima entered. I took my seat as well. After homework ended, Sister Mishima addressed me. Messiah, could you meet me in the hallway? Oh, yes, ma'am. The headmistress wished to speak with you about yesterday's events. Please go to her office after class today. Yes, ma'am. Now, you don't have to be so formal. She patted my shoulder gently. This kind of thing happens all the time. What? Marise said it was the first instance of violence in Vincennes history. Well, it's true that you don't see slaps to the face very often. Quite a few scratch marks, though. My beloved Oni had lunch with another girl. Cree, things like that. In fact, when I was here at school, Sister Mishima's gaze became distant. Well, that's the long and short of it. Oh yes, the same as Shiho-san has been called along with you. I see. If you wish to line up your stories, I suggest you do it quickly. Right. Line up our stories. That would probably be for the best, but I was hesitant to actually go to see Chihio. There was the possibility of a repeat of that incident. I didn't especially mind being hit, but I didn't want to hurt her standing in the school. Of course, I didn't intend to avoid her forever. I guess I should wait until after class. What did the sister say? The headmistress wants to talk to me. I have to go see her after class. The headmistress? This is the first time I've ever been chewed out by the headmistress. This is no laughing matter. It isn't? The headmistress is always a strict woman, but she is likely to be especially harsh against you. What? Why? The headmistress is the leader of the traditionalist faction, so she hates men. After class, though, I suppose we'll save our conversation for tonight. I'll send you an email tonight, then. Sure. There's our ace reporter. Wasn't that photograph intense? I got the exact moment, not bad with the camera, am I? That is a good photograph, actually. Sure, whatever. Hey, don't be mad at me. I just do my best to communicate what happened to as many people as possible. That's what a journalist does. Yeah, I know. But where did your Holy Trinity even come from? You weren't even carrying a bag. That's a trade secret. I'll give you a hint, though. The key to the secret might be inside my hat. She's keeping them in a strange place again. It really was a strange hat, but I wasn't sure if it was okay to ask about it, so I'll just let it go for now. But it was a good shot, at least. I could certainly understand why she'd want to brag about it a little. Well, I'm doing fine, but... I hope Shihio's okay. I'm not worried about her being scolded by the teachers or anything, but... I keep thinking other girls might give her the cold shoulder about that. Ah. Aren't you kind? What are you mad about? I'm not mad about anything. Excuse me, guys. Yawning like crazy today. Well, as part of the news club, I know a little thing or two. Chihio-san never really fit in. Oh, really? I stopped eating. A little, yeah. For once, Tommy-san was being evasive. But Chihio's so friendly. She was so popular back at Yatsu Auxiliary. There was something I've been wondering. You two have known each other for quite some time. Yeah. I sat back in my chair, resumed eating. Today's meal was a 10-piece nigiri sushi. That sounds about right. Not even the tentator serpent could build up an illicit relationship that soon after arriving in school. Speaking of which, is that tentator serpent thing something you came up with, Tommy? Oh, it's really getting around, isn't it? I'll be honest, I worked hard on that one. No, that's not what I was asking. But what is your relationship? Oh, right, let's see. I guess you could call us childhood friends? Childhood friends. So you've known each other since you were children? No, that's not what it means. Yeah. Oh, I get it. So that's why you didn't give her an honorific. My information network says she doesn't give you an honorific either. I thought there was something strange about that. Oh, that's nice. Very nice. That lucky girl. I'm so jealous. Tommy nudged me with her elbow. I shrugged and popped another nigiri in my mouth. Munch munch, huh? So you have a dashing young man as your childhood friend. Not bad at all, right? Are you sure you aren't mad, Rise? I absolutely am not mad. I'm not even the slightest bothered to constant talk with childhood friends. I think she's mad. Huh? If you will excuse me. Saya, your writing and your eyes are watering. Oh no. What did you say something? I felt like my fist was going to explode. I could barely hear anything. I said you're writhing and your eyes are watering. Oh, it's just that wasabi was stronger than I expected. Perhaps the cook was issuing a bit of punishment to the tentator serpent. Seriously? Nah, it was probably just an accident. It's not like it's made by a real sushi chef. This is really good, though. I was surprised it makes sushi for a school lunch. I wonder if I should have another plate. Wait, huh? Where's Risa? You didn't even see her leaving? Oh, that's right. She said something, didn't she? Maybe. That was probably best if you didn't hear. Huh. But you're more of a tentator serpent than your appearance would suggest. Even I might end up being seduced by you. Oh my. What are you talking about? I think she likes me. Oh, what a fool I am. What was I thinking? Childhood friends. You've got mail. Ah, an email. Don't worry, I've already forgotten your soliloquy back there. Even the sombre scanner has principles. Also, Messiah was choking on wasabi and didn't seem to hear, so don't worry about that either. Thank goodness. Here we go. Showtime. The real problem came after class. Chihio and I arrived at the headmistress' office. I ran Chihio almost right in front of the door, but she didn't respond when I addressed her, and she studiously avoided eye contact. Oh, this is the first time we actually meet the headmistress. I thought it was the grandma. My bad. I do not approve. I was expecting to receive a tongue lashing, so it wasn't really surprising, but the headmistress was somehow scarier than the chairwoman. To see violence in Vincennes, which prizes harmony above all else. When I first heard the news, I could scarcely believe my ears. It wasn't really violence. What? Well, I mean, I didn't think it was really that bad. What are you talking about? You have a large bruise on your cheek. This isn't really a bruise, it's more of a mark. Semantics. She tapped her desk with a fingernail in irritation. For heaven's sake, 1 week and you're already causing trouble? I expected this, but... This is why I was opposed to this. This proves just how thoughtless it was to allow boys to enter an all-girls school. Of course, there's nothing to be done about it now. The board already voted on it. However, she cut off sharply and fixed me with a cold gaze, eyes narrowed. This violence is a separate matter from that of your scholarship. As a person tasked with running this school, I'm obliged to ask what was the cause of all this. What on earth could it have been? I checked on Chihiro from the corners of my eyes. Her head was bowed deeply and her eyes fixed on the floor. What is the matter? Explain yourself already. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I quickly parroted her words, but the headmistress's expression didn't soften. Who asked you to apologize? I asked you to explain yourselves. You don't intend to tell me? Sagisawa Chihiro-san, are you defying the headmistress's request? For heaven's sake, this is what we get for accepting final course tourists. What does that mean? I didn't understand what she was talking about, but at the headmistress's words, Chihiro's shoulders began to tremble. Headmistress, what is it? The truth is, I owed her a CD. CD? I broke Chihiro-san's favorite CD, and that was the reason she was mad. Surely you have a more convincing lie than that. It's the truth. Chapter 9, verse 43 of the Gospel of Mark states, if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. For that is at least better than to burn in the fires of hell. Okanogi Masai-kun, I believe it would be better for you to cut off that tongue of yours. I had no idea how to respond to excessively cruel words. Go ahead. Salutations. Yeah, it's the chairwoman. Maybe she'll bail us out. Madame Chairwoman, what are you doing here? I was worried that you might be harassing Messiah. Unthinkable. I would never harass a student. I know that. It was an innocent joke. Now then, what have you talked about so far? I was just explaining what caused the fight. You should speak more precisely. I believe you mean I was just bearing false witness. Oh dear. The chairwoman smiled in amusement. I found myself relaxing. I understand. I'll tell you the truth. It's spring after all, so I lifted her skirt. That's why she smacked me. I don't know, man. You gotta be careful with what you say. How long do you intend to lie to us? Now, Madame Headmistress, it's clear that Messiah wants to forgive and forget. Isn't that enough? But as a school administrator, I cannot. Jesus himself said many times, hate the sin, but love the sinner. Messiah, you forgive her for striking you? Yes, I don't mind at all. And isn't that enough, if we can just reach a compromise there? I understand what you're saying, Madame Chairwoman, however, I believe that it is overly lenient. This matter is not merely between the two of them, it concerns all of Vincennes. The vessel known as Vincennes has remained pure and pristine for all this time. Now a single drop of mud has entered it, a single drop which cannot be allowed. After all, who can be expected to drink muddy water? You're treating me like mud? I couldn't help but feel a little offended. I believe you are incorrect, Madame Headmistress. Messiah is not mud. The mud has been here since the beginning. What exactly do you mean by that? The school has been collecting sediment all throughout its long history. Messiah is a stone that has stirred up that mud. It is only natural that our vision should be obscured for a time. Sediment. Excuse me, but I can hardly believe what I'm hearing. I cannot contain my outrage at your words. If the word sediment is too strong for you, you may replace the word with consciousness. Vincennes, it has a tendency to lock a person's mind in place. For better or worse, it is a powerful force. Of course, I am well aware that you have a different opinion on the matter, Madame Headmistress. Very well, then, in deference to you, Madame Chairwoman, I shall concede the matter today. As they say, water which is too pure has no fish. The headmistress didn't respond, but turned back to Chihiro and me. You may go. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Wow, I can't believe we got out of that. I made a show of wiping my brow in relief. Were you trying to cover for me there? Huh? The way you lied. Oh, that wasn't what I... As we talked, Chihio still wouldn't meet my eyes. You won't get any thanks from me. I'm never going to forgive you, you know. Oh my, I can see you two still have conflict. Ah, Madame Chairwoman. No, don't worry. Youth is a time for strong emotions. That is what I believe, at least. Now we should go, Messiah-kun. Why don't you return to your dormitory? Yes, ma'am. As we walked back together, I spoke up. Madame Chairwoman, earlier the headmistress referred to Chihio as a final course tourist. What does that mean? Ah, did she say that? I had hoped that changing discussion to coeducation would put that matter to rest once and for all. But other than those few cryptic words, she didn't address my question at all. Still more mysteries to be solved, it seems. After dinner, I got an email from Rise and headed for the recreation room. Hey there. Salutations. If you do not wish to be overheard, we could go outside instead. What would you prefer? No, it doesn't really matter. Then let us remain. We headed for the sofa and sat. Now, would you mind telling me what transpired between you and Chihio? Sure. Let's see, where to start. I gazed off into the distance as I murmured to myself. I guess in the end it comes down to me breaking a promise. I think that's what Chihio meant when she called me a traitor. What kind of promise? It was the day of our graduation. We agreed that after the ceremony we'd meet in the park where we played as kids. But I ended up not going. But why? I couldn't go. I told you how my dad's loans forced us to run out a year ago. It was the day of my graduation. Then that means... It's true that there wasn't a lot of time, but we could have put off our departure a little. The biggest problem was my fear. At the time, my old man looked the most afraid he'd ever been. He was usually so laid back. Afraid? He thought that collection of our dead had passed to a violent gang known as the Goons. So the people who confronted us at the Papator Moon Rock? Yeah, them. Well, it's my dad's fault for not acting in good faith. He always managed to duck out of his responsibilities one way or another. It was clear the creditors were getting pretty mad. My old man had a good nose for these things, and he got the feeling they'd be sending the mob. So we ran. So, how does Chihei fit in all this? My old man was probably exaggerating to make me understand why we were running out, but he really drummed into me how dangerous the goons were. I smiled bitterly. Well, that much was true at least. They even attacked you on an unrelated matter. Anyway, he got me scared too. I just thought that after we ran away, the goons might target Chihio instead. That's what I kept thinking. Like you said, there was also part of me that was broken up about having to leave, but at the time I really was afraid. But would they really pressure someone else into you about your debt? Maybe not, maybe so. I don't really know how the mob does things. Ah, I see, but even then. Well, the gang seemed to be watching us when we were together, and then they did come to interrogate me regarding your debt. I believe they may have mistaken us for lovers. I see, then I guess I did the right thing. Were the two of you seeing one another? Oh, no, nothing like that. Not even in the slightest. I see. Just friends. So I cut out ties with Chihio right there, and for the same reason didn't even try to contact her from where we had gone. But in the end, the mob showed up there too. That's why I tried not to make any friends. Well, a year later, a bunch of stuff happened where we were, and my old man and I ended up coming back to our home to T-Town. Then the goons appeared and the old bastard ran, and you know the rest. I see. In the end, it appears that your situation was unavoidable. Isn't that the case? I guess so. In that case, you should apologize at once. Have you told her the story? No, I haven't had the chance. You're right, though. I guess that should be the first thing I do. I'll go see her tomorrow, then. Yes, I believe that would be for the best. If you don't mind, I will accompany you. What? Why? I stared at her in shock. Rise sensing unusually flustered. It's not as though I'm concerned about the two of you. It's not like that at all. But as I'm the leader of the White Lily Society... Naturally, you are a member of our society. Well, not properly, as you haven't been elected. You are, well, an affiliate. I wish to see our affiliate come to terms with his childhood friend. As leader of society, that is the only natural, isn't it? Is that natural? Of course it's natural. Oh, she's getting heated. Right. She had gotten so strangely insistent I couldn't help but nod along. On that subject, I wonder what Chihio-san wanted to say to you when she called you out there on your graduation day. I don't know, I never got a chance to find out. Let's find out right now, let's go ask her. Another day has passed. It was the next day when the bell rang to signal the end of class. Rise and I hurried to Class B where Chihio was. Due to the events of days before, classmates all met us with cold stares. Chihio seems to know the second we passed through the doors and fixed us with a glare. Well, I guess it was better than being ignored. As we arrived beside her desk, she turned her eyes to the two of us. What is it? That's right. You didn't seem like you wanted to talk to me about something. Yes, that's right. Although we can leave that matter until later. So later. Messiah wanted to apologize to you. That's why we're here today. So, you can't even apologize about your stuff? You gutless coward. Oh, well. No, it isn't like that. It's rather I insisted on coming along. Huh? Well, we are in this together after all. I see, you're very close. No comment. Go on, just say it already. Right. But listen, I'm sorry about what happened a year ago. Bowed profusely there. I bowed low when I straightened. Chihio was finally looking me in the face. There were circumstances. What circumstances? I took strength from the fact that she was at least ready to listen and spoke quickly. You realize that I left T-Town a year ago, right? Ah, yes. Well, Mom called me to tell you that your house was empty. We had to skip town. Skip town, really? What, you skipped town? Oh no, people are talking about me. They said that in the newspaper his father was deeply in debt. Now that you mention it. Chihio associated with someone like that? That's a final course tourist for you. I mean, everyone doesn't like these final course tourists, apparently. There was again. Chihio showed a reaction at that phrase, final course tourist. I wanted to know more about it, but I couldn't let the voices distract me. That's why I couldn't come to see you. I mean, I had the time, but I just couldn't do it. What does that mean? It was about the debt. The more I thought about it, the more scared I became. That's right. I never told you about it, though I guess you probably realized that my family wasn't like normal families to start. Anyway, I wrestled with it. In the end, I couldn't go. I didn't know what might happen, and when I thought about it, I got so scared. I see. I mean, listen. Maybe you didn't know, but, huh? She's shaking. I was about to tell her about the dark underworld of the goons, but found myself stopping. Chihiro's manner changed in a strange way. At first she had been beating my eyes as she listened to my story, but now her gaze was turned downwards, her shoulders shaking. Chihio? Messiah, even you treat me that way. What? She turned her face toward me suddenly with the same tear-filled eyes as the other day. The clattering from her chair as she stood up was also the same. And then... Oh, man. More violence. Violence breeds violence. Idiot. Ow. Whoa, of course. Oh, goody. We got another front page headline. And another visit to the Chairwoman's office. Everything from the stinging pain in my cheek to the gleeful sound of the camera shutter was all just as it was the day before. Why? I stared in disbelief at the door Chihio had fled from. Did I say something strange? I don't know. That's right. I know that one Bible phrase. If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. I thought I put that into practice. But Messiah, she slapped the same cheek twice. That's also true. That was pretty funny. The cat returns the favor. Alrighty guys, I think I'll make a short video today. I'm kind of sick of making hour-long videos because it takes forever to get through these chapters, it seems like, to get to the stopping point. So, I think I will see you guys in part 6.